Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for tuning into this latest video. So the patient in this video is a young girl who attended today who has Down syndrome. People who have Down syndrome can have what we call stenotic ear canal. So the word stenosis means an abnormal narrowing. So in the case of the ear, stenotic ear canal is just a narrow, abnormally narrow ear canal. That could be congenital, so from birth, or it could also be as a result of chronic ear infection. So if you have otitis externa, chronic ear infection, over time your ear canal will can, not always, but can narrow. Just to make everyone aware, all of the procedures that we publish online, we do get consent. So in this case, it's the patient's mum who consented to have the procedure filmed, and they're fully aware it could be uploaded to social media, etc. So we're just on the right side here, and what made this particular case a bit more tricky was that the wax was quite hard and dry, and the patient has got a bit of psoriasis eczema at the entrance of the ear canal, and there's a few cilia, a few hairs at the entrance, as you can see. But also the colour of the earwax, or I would say it's more dead skin than earwax if I'm honest. I wouldn't say this is earwax, it's more dead skin. The complexion is it's camouflaged alongside the ear canal, so it just makes it a bit more tricky. You've got a very narrow ear canal to begin with, loads of hairs at the entrance, and then the colour of the dead skin is oxidized. It's very similar to the ear canal. So I've removed the main blockage. The eardrum is in the distance, but I don't have a full view at the moment, so there's a bit of dead skin here. So I've just attached a fine end gauge, and the patient is extremely still. When we have a narrow ear, sometimes you get a bit more brightness, reflection of the light, because you've got obviously, if you shine a torch in a small room or a big room, you're going to get more effect in a small room. So it's the same with a small ear canal. We get more illumination, so we get more reflection. I can turn it down actually, the exposure, but it wasn't really affecting me. So we're just gently peeling the skin. Again, we have to be very gentle here. We're on the bony part of the ear canal. So the bony part of the ear canal is the inner 2/3, and there's just a very thin layer of stratified squamous epithelial cells. So the word stratified means layers. Squamous means a flat type of cell, almost like a pancake. So it's not like an ice cube shaped, it's like a flat, like a pancake, and you've got layers of these. And the skin in the ear canal is what we call keratinous. So as the skin dies and sheds, it gets, so the skin, these 5 layers, if you think about the fresher layer of skin deep in the ear, the innermost layer, and I think in the ear canal there's 5 layers of skin if I'm correct. As the cell multiplies and divides, these skin cells, they push the older layer of skin further up, and then that keeps happening, and the outermost layer of this type of keratinous stratified squamous epithelial scales has a lot of keratin in there. So keratin is a protein that's found in many types of skin cells, or cells in general. So you get them on your fingernails, your hair strands is all keratin. And what the keratin does, as you get a buildup of keratin, the normal cell activity begins to dwindle. The cell loses its metabolic function per se. And instead, you get a lot of keratin, so there's protein in the cell, and the nucleus of the cell dies. So it becomes a dead layer of skin actually, in essence. But the purpose of this keratinous skin is to perform a protective barrier of the ear canal, and it tries to also prevent the inner layers of skin from dehydrating. And keratin is also very good at reflecting ray radiation. So if you think about the sun's rays, so this keratinous skin is all found all over our external body, so our fingertips, arms, and it tries to reflect away any radiation. So it has a purpose, and as this keratin skin sheds, it migrates outwards out of the ear canal. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. I thought it was an interesting one, because you could see the anatomy of a typical patient who has Down syndrome. Not all of them have narrow ears, but the majority I've seen do. And it can always be a bit tricky to remove wax or dead skin in patients with Down syndrome. Take care, guys. Bye.